Hello, welcome everyone. Hello, day 32 of our 21-day journey together. My name is Sia. I'm here in the United States, Texas. Hot, hot, hot over here. I hear in Europe, not so much. Anyway, sending you a little bit of hearty warmth across the pond. So today, let's get our foot soak bowl ready. The ingredients, you know. We need the bowl, the salt, the rinse water, the towel, as usual. As usual implies that you have already joined one of our lessons. So session 2 is not only for continuing participants, also for beginners. If you're here for the very first time, welcome. I'm glad you found us. It's never too late. We are repeating things in the second session that we have touched upon on the first session. And any questions you have, you will have the opportunity to ask in a breakout room later on, which you can request at the end of the session. So just for today, join in, just join along, and it will be guided meditations. So for that, we get a little bit deeper into the experience in session 2. So what else can you do? If you are here for the very first time, or if you're returning, you can also go to our website, which will be posted in the chat. So if you're on Zoom, keep your eye on the chat. There's some lovely people. They will share some information with you. How to go to the website. On the website is all the previous sessions, all the YouTube links, and all the materials. So you can always look up previous sessions. It's never too late. You can also visit local programs. So if you want to see people in person, if there is some program near you, just check on the website as well, or even just on Google. You can put in Sahaja Yoga and your local meeting, your area, and you may find a session near you. It's important to know that Sahaja Yoga meditation is always free of charge. If it's online or if it's in person, it's always free of charge. You can also request a mentor. A mentor will be your one person to go to. He or she will be available for you whenever you arrange a meeting. You can meditate together, you can ask questions about meditation, things you didn't understand in the program. So lots of possibilities. We'll cover that at the end as well. On Sunday, you had a beautiful session on peace and well-being come from within. And today's topic is becoming dignified and facing ourselves. And it relates to the void, which is here around our belly area. So we are touching on the void, the topic void. As usual, we have 2 presenters for our meditation, followed by a speech, by an excerpt of the speech by the founder of Sahaja Yoga, named Shri Mataji, who you can see in the photograph. And after that, I shall play a little bit of music for you. Maybe I just touch on that a tiny little bit. It's kind of a fusion piece, because Sahaja Yoga is all about integration. It's a fusion piece between, let's say, it's based on an Indian raga, but loosely based on an Indian rag on the violin over Tanpura, which is a drone. And then it ends in the second movement of a Vivaldi piece in A minor. So a little bit of an experiment there. I would like to invite all my presenters now here into this window so we can get to know you. We've had the beautiful opportunity to meet already before in the session. So, Prasad and Nicholas, hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Prasad, tell us where you are, tell us a little bit about yourself, and maybe touch short upon what Sahaja Yoga meant, what Sahaja Yoga has given you in your life.
My name is Prasad. I'm coming to you from the UK, which is sunny and hot. So I'm
Oh, it
not
is? Okay.
not as
Take
hot
it
as
all back.
Texas, thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sahaja Yoga, what has that given me? Sahaja Yoga has given me, I guess, a sense of purpose, and it's given me a daily means to improve myself, to perfect myself, and find that peace and joy that we all seek.
And you are a
Wait,
fantastic painter. And you are a fantastic painter. Maybe you want to share a little bit what Sahaja Yoga has, what influence Sahaja Yoga, meditation has had on your art.
Um, I mean, art's been a kind of parallel journey along with my meditation, and I never felt the two were separate. I always felt they were the same. And one thing that really touched me because I was often going out and painting was this idea that, the truth, or as Kabir says, the garden of paradise is within. Don't seek outside. And so that combination of, finding beauty in nature, but then, experiencing it and expressing that is an important aspect.
That's super great to hear. And we're moving on to Nicholas, who's also a great artist. And he is in a wonderful location currently. Tell us where you flew off to.
Hi everyone. Yes, I am in Vietnam at the moment. So it's very late in the day here, but it's very hot and humid. My goodness. But yeah, it's lovely to be here and lovely to share the meditation with everyone.
So, having the opportunity of having two painters, very briefly, what influence did Sahaja Yoga or your meditation have on your art?
Well, I mean, it really transformed my own creative journey. Before meditation, I'd always liked art, but I wasn't practicing it as a hobby, and I had no idea that it would become a profession. So actually, meditation was the catalyst for me to actually kickstart my creative journey. Before that, it was largely ignored.
Interesting. Well, today's session is going to be about the void, which is very closely related to self-discipline, self-mastery. So I'm very excited what you two have to share in the meditations as well. So thank you so much for your introduction. And Prasad, please lead us into meditation with the foot soak. Thank you.
Thank you. So it's hot weather in general, so hopefully we feel very cool after this. You'll need a foot soak, which I hope you have. If you don't, that's fine. And so before we start, could I actually have the slide about the void? Um, so yeah, just like a very brief introduction, the void is that green, large space in the individual's stomach area, and it's around the third chakra, the nabi. And interestingly, it's created by the movement of the second chakra. So this yellow one, it creates this void by moving around the third chakra. And the second chakra is the aspect of creativity. It's the chakra responsible for the creation. And so this is so the void is represents the Bhavsagar, which is called the ocean of illusion, this material world which we are daily kind of immersed in. And to cross it, we need to become our own masters. So there, there's the guru principle, which is about it's about dharma, being strict with yourself, watching your attention. There's many aspects to it, but it's also really about introspection. And once you achieve your realization, which I hope most of you have, it's also about assuming that you are the master. It's about having faith in yourself, assuming that I am the spirit, because the master is ultimately the spirit. So I am the master, I am the spirit, and assuming that position is a strong aspect. When I teach painting, there's a big aspect because a big part of it is also not just um, there's techniques and so on, but it's also assuming your position that, yes, I'm the master and I know where I want to take this painting. There's a level there as well. So let's move on with the foot soak. We can just like first start by giving it a clockwise bandha 7 times. And then we can place our feet inside. And so we can just keep our hands on our lap at first and just slowly try to take our attention inside. We can take a few deep breaths. And then we can put both our hands towards the Mother Earth. And we can also put our attention on the Mother Earth and just feel the gravity of the Mother Earth. Feel her gravitas and how she looks after us, how she bears us. The, the Mother Earth is the ultimate guru, the ultimate teacher. So we can just silently offer our respect and thanks to the Mother Earth for nourishing us, for looking after us. And we can pray, Mother Earth, please absorb all the negativity from within me. And we can place our left hand on our lap and keep our right hand towards Mother Earth. And so we'll just balance our channels now, and we'll start with the left channel. And we can just pray, Mother Earth, please purify my left side. Please remove all the negativity in my left channel. Please remove all impure desires. We can place our right hand back on our lap, and we can raise our left hand behind us towards the ether, the sky. And here we can pray, Mother Kundalini, please remove all heat from my right channel. And here we can just say, I surrender. I surrender everything to you, Mother Kundalini. And for this channel, we control it with our playful nature. So just let all my actions be playful and light. We can place our left hand back on our lap. And we'll just move our attention to the void. And we can just give a bandhan to this whole area, this Bhavsagar. We'll do it 7 times. And we can just pray, Mother Kundalini, please remove all darkness. The Guru is the remover of darkness. So please remove all the darkness within me. And we can place our hand on the left side of our third energy center, the Nabi. And here we can just affirm inside with a sense of confidence that I am my own master. I am my own Guru. And we can just also focus on the right Nabi by placing our right hand back on our lap. And we'll take our left hand and place it on the right side. So a lot of left and right. So now we're focusing on the right Nabi. And we can just say inside, please give me the pure dignity of a king, of one that knows he is the master. Please give me the dignity, that inner silent dignity. We can place our left hand back on our lap. And let's put our right hand on our heart. So this master, this guru, is the spirit, the eternal witness within us. And we have to become that. So we can just say inside, I am the pure spirit. I am nothing but the pure spirit. All else is illusory, temporary. Please make me that eternal spirit, which is everlasting. We'll put our hand on our forehead. And here we can just say, I forgive. I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. The two gates to unlock this center is faith and surrender. So we just say, I surrender all thoughts, and I have complete faith in myself. And then we can place our hand on our Sahasrara, the seventh energy center. And we can press down quite firmly with our hands outstretched. And we can massage it clockwise 7 times. Mother Kundalini, please establish my self-realization. And we can raise our hand a few centimeters above the top of our head. and just see if we feel anything there. We can place our right hand back on our lap, and we can raise our left hand above the top of our head. Place our hand back down. And just before we go into silent meditation, we can take our feet out the foot soak. So we can rinse our feet. We can just sit in silence for a few minutes. So we'll just can open our eyes and we'll watch a talk given by Shri Mataji, the founder of Sahaja Yoga.
Guru principle is extremely strict, and the strictness made many people could not conform to the ideals of a disciple. In those days, the Guru had to be absolutely the authority, and it was the Guru who would decide which disciples he'll have. And one had to go into great tapasya, to great penances, to even become a disciple. And this hardship was the only way the Guru used to judge. Gurus would always live in jungles, and they would select their disciples, very few, very, very few. And they had to go and beg food from the neighboring villages and cook food for their Guru with their own hands and feed the Guru. That sort of Guru business is not in Sahaja. That basically we must understand that the difference between those styles of Guruship and that we have now is this, that very few individuals were given the chance to become the Guru. Very few. And these few also were selected out of quite a lot of people, and they felt that there was something really special, that they are being selected, chosen, and that whatever they will have to go through is all welcome. With this idea, they became the disciples. But Sahaja Yoga is a very different thing. I would say just the opposite. First of all, your Guru is a mother, and who suffers from Sandra Karuna. At the slightest things that happen to you, my eyes get filled with tears. So, as a mother, to be a Guru is a very difficult thing. But at the same time, for you to achieve heights is also difficult. Because you get lost when I love you so much, and in that love you forget sometimes that the progress in your being is very slow. It is important that in Sahaja Yoga you have to be strict with yourself. That's why I said that you have to be your own Guru, which people do not understand what it means. You have to be your own Guru means you have to guide yourself, you have to treat yourself as your disciple, and you have to trim yourself. If you do not understand the responsibility as Sahaja of working it out yourself, everything, you cannot move very fast, because it is a different type of relationship between the Guru and the disciples. So first, I have always said you become your own Guru. So you have to make a lot of introspection and fix your ideals. Before you, I am sitting. You have seen me how I am. I can eat anything. I need not eat at all for days together. I can sleep anywhere. I may not sleep at all. I travel for miles together untiringly. I have this energy because I am a Guru of myself also. So the first thing is that there should be a lot of introspection. What's wrong with me, not wrong with others? What's wrong with me? Am I seeking the comfort of my body? The attention, is it on my body or on my spirit? If so, what am I doing? I think best thing is to write it down. Can I sleep on the grass? Can I sit on the stone? You have to make this body work. Can I sleep anytime I like, and can I keep awake anytime I like? I've seen people doze off. The reason is this, not that they're bad or in any way indisciplined people, but because inside they're tired. If you're tired inside, then you feel tired all the time. You will see on the television, if you see people in the West, they're always sitting like this. Because they're so very tired. Why are they so tired? They don't work so hard. So introspect how you behave. Now, when you start introspecting yourself, you'll also start introspecting your surroundings and your styles and your methods and what you are doing to yourself because of the conditionings of the outside.
So we can close our eyes. We can alternatively also look at Shri Mataji's photograph, whatever you feel. And we can open our hands on our lap, just for a minute of silence. If thoughts are coming, just say, not now, not now. You can check over your head if you feel a cool breeze. Stay with your attention right up there, even when you drop your hand. And try with the other hand. Is it cool? Or is it still warm? And stay in this peaceful silence all the way beyond your thoughts. I would recommend, if you want to, put your right hand on your void. That means your palm on your belly button area. And during the music, just feel like this desire to connect to your own mastery. That's all, just that. Just connect to yourself completely, with full faith and with love.
Wow, so peaceful. So let's move into our second meditation with that lovely music behind us. We can now more peacefully enter into a blissful state. We will put our attention on different aspects of the void. So, reminder, the void is right here, and we have a left side of the void and a right side, and they have particular qualities. So we're going to go through a second meditation, awakening or affirming these qualities within us. So, if you'd like to, you can once again close your eyes, or you can look at the photograph, and we'll just maintain this silent state, and we can help our energy to rise up above our head by using our right hand and bringing it up the central channel all the way to the top. And then once again, pressing down on the top of our head and then seeing how we feel above our head. We can also take a few deep breaths. So let's start with the left side of our void. So we're going to place our right hand on the left side of our stomach. Now, the left side of our void is where we can, we can understand that we need to discern right from wrong. So basically, it's our ability to discern right from wrong, and this quality is manifested in this center. It's also where we get our intuition, that inner guru that helps us make the right decision in our lives. And this can be blocked, this center can be blocked if we fear our own self-mastery, if we don't allow ourselves to become our guru, our own teacher. This usually happens just because of fear. So we need to overcome this. And we can do it by affirming with full conviction this self-mastery within us. So let's say a few affirmations together, and then we'll sit in silence before moving to the right side. So we can first of all say, Mother Kundalini, please awaken the light of truth within me. Mother Kundalini, please let me discern right from wrong. We can bring our left hand back to our lap. And now we're going to turn our attention to the right side of our void. So now we can place our left hand on the right side of our stomach. And this side is the side of our sense of Dharma, or our sense of righteous conduct. It's also the side of our dignity. And we hope to awaken and strengthen our sense of dignity. Only then can we become our own guru. Of course, this center can be blocked if you ignore the signs placed before you, you ignore your intuition. Maybe you become over assertive or domineering of other people, a sort of abuse of your own guru principle. So, the right conduct, the righteous conduct is in the middle. It's knowing to be a dignified personality with respect to yourself and with respect to others. So, once again, let's say some affirmations together to strengthen this right void. Mother Kundalini, please instill the quality of dignity within me. Let me rise above all my shortcomings and give me strength to overcome all my weaknesses. Mother Kundalini, by your grace, I am dignified. And we can return our left hand to our lap. And with our right hand, we can once again raise this energy up above the head. We can do this 3 times. And let's sit for a few moments in silent meditation. What we can do to finish off is to raise our Kundalini and give ourselves a bandhan. So if you're not familiar with this, just have our left hand out and we'll rotate our right hand outwardly around it and we'll raise this together up to the top of the head and we tie a knot. And then we'll do this again, rotating around the left hand up to the top and we'll tie a second knot or 2 knots. And then lastly, the third time, and we tie 3 knots. And then we give ourselves a bandhan, so protection with our right hand on the left side. We'll bring this arc over our head and back again, and that counts as 1, and we'll do that 7 times. 2, 3. Great. So thanks very much.
Thank you, Nicholas, for the lovely meditation. And this is almost the end of the session, but not quite. We have a few announcements, and then afterwards we have breakout rooms where you can meet a meditation practitioner one-to-one in your own language, by the way. So just send a message to breakout room help. But before that, let's have a look at the slides. What's coming up? All right, so we covered today the void and becoming dignified. Now we're all dignified. Next slide, please. Thank you. There is a handout that's not quite yet uploaded, but you can see all the today's session as well on our website. Day 33, please join us on Sunday. Sunday is always our workshop day. The topic is respect your self-realization. Once again, there will be more emphasis on one-to-one workshop. Keep an eye on the chat for all the links. This session 2 focuses on going deeper, as you know, and it runs till June 18th, every Sunday and Wednesday. Sunday, the workshop day, Wednesday, more topic related. Always the same link, always the same time. If you would like to request a mentor, this is another opportunity right now. Look in the chat and fill out the form. You can also join our WhatsApp groups and get all the information on our website, from the links, recorded sessions, handouts, everything. As I said, Void handout is to be uploaded soon. This is our website. Here we go. You can see by day, by session. Usually the handout should be on the day, but we're not quite there yet today. So will be coming. All right, so if you would like to go into a breakout room, please contact breakout room help. If you have any question to today's topic, either write to me or to chat Q&A. Thank you so much for joining, and for those on YouTube, please join us on Zoom. Go to the website, you see the link how to join Zoom. You can join right now and still hop on the breakout room. You can also hop on a breakout room, I think, after the little Q&A we're going to have now. So for this, I would like to ask the presenters back into this lovely window here. And I have to keep an eye on the chat. Here we go. All right, great. Here we are. Thank you so much. Such nice and yet very different meditations with the two of you. It's really lovely. Okay, let me hop right in here with the first question. Referring to the speech, the talk, Shri Mataji talks about being strict with yourself and being your own guru, treating yourself as your own disciple. Now, have you tried to follow this? What was your experience in becoming your own guru and your own disciple? Who wants to go first? Okay, Nicholas is smiling, so here we go. Over to you.
Yeah, I think there are different ways of being self-disciplined. You have, being disciplined over your emotions, being disciplined over your routine, your daily structure. Maybe it's being disciplined with your mind. And I think that for me, you start to understand as you become more aware of yourself through meditation, through introspection, about what part of you you need to work on the most. I think I've always been quite good with the daily structure of things, but when it comes to emotions and the mind, that's where I've really felt the need to be quite disciplined. And how did I do that? Well, I think using what you're good at. So bringing in more routine, more structure can then help you to be more balanced, your sort of system be more balanced, and then you can sort of try and focus and hone in on the mental and emotional side of things. So, for example, if I keep my sort of system clear, I meditate morning and evening, and I do the foot soak, then I know that I'm going to be helping myself to be more disciplined, help myself being more emotionally resilient and not think so much or worry so much about the future. So I think using practical tips of Sahaja Yoga helps as well.
Establishing a routine, so a very external thing, isn't it? But then to know what sort of principles to listen to in the first place, right? That's when it becomes a little bit more subtle. So Prasad, maybe you can answer that question. It's not really a question, I just made it up. But when Nicholas was talking about the Dharma, so maybe to go a little bit into this Dharma versus outside rules you establish for yourself. So what does Dharma mean?
Well, yes, I mean, there's the outside rules. I'm not sure because there's, I grew up in a school in India, and so I mean, this is a little bit separate, but for someone like me, the structures of a Western society was something that I had to kind of learn to get my head around a little bit. But the inner Dharma is something that I would say I always had. I think every child naturally has a sense of Dharma, naturally has a sense of innocence, of respect. Sometimes, of course, we waver, we forget who we are, and that's normal. And especially with all the distractions that we have, there's so many forces trying to disturb this natural state of innocence, this natural state of Dharma that we have. And so when you enter these new societies or different spaces, becoming aware of these forces and seeing how they're disturbing this natural state is really important. So the awareness of that is important. And then, yeah, seeing your mind, where it's going and seeing how it's affected. It's very interesting because we sit, we meditate, and we say, I'm the spirit, and then straight away, afterwards, you can look at your phone and you can be bombarded by stuff, and it's very interesting for me as an artist as well. I used to wonder what kind of impact can I have on another person's life, and I realized just by watching my attention, if I watch, a football, even just a little highlight or just a clip, just the headline, I'll see how it plays on my attention even an hour or two after. It just takes me down a rabbit hole. And so I realized actually I have a great power as an artist to affect other people's attention. I can take it towards spirituality or I can take it towards something base, depending on what kind of artist I am. So that was a really important kind of realization I had that we all have power over ourselves to watch our attention and guide it, but we also have as people who practice meditation in whatever field we do, we have a ability to affect other people's attention as well by what we say, by how we dress. All these things naturally from the meditation, from the introspection, from this, reestablishing this innocence, this natural dharma, it naturally expresses itself outwardly in all those aspects.
I loved how you touched on children having it innate, and then everything comes upon you, isn't it? Education and concept mental. So what we call as guruship, maybe a guru, a different person. Influence is also good. It comes through influence from other people, from other concepts, from our education, all these things. So you want to filter through. And for me personally, I felt all this is outside. So when you meditate, you go beyond the thoughts and then you connect to what you actually truly feel is right. So it's in you, right? The wisdom is in you, but obviously because these chakras, as you explained in the beginning, Prasad, they build up, and the Swadhisthana literally moves around the void, means I have to build up my guruship on the right knowledge. If I build it on the wrong knowledge, it's not such a good idea. So yeah, you can be a strong guru, but you have the wrong knowledge. Nicholas was saying on the left void is differentiating the right from the wrong, but it's a very subtle process.
Very true, yeah.
Recently I had this epiphany, and I just shared it before with you, is that we associate the guruship also with something very strict, something very from outside, very harsh, discipline. It came in times. If we look at evolution of mankind, it came in times with Moses, with the 10 laws, it came in times where people were array and didn't follow anything, and they had to be told. But this to turn it into something subtle, into avoid, is the next step. So, Nicholas, how do you see? Do you have anything to share to that? Sorry, my train of thought was there. The thing is, many things like fear, or things that we very much often work on the center heart in self-confidence, right? So for me, I realized I just have to go lower and also work on the lower chakras first in order to develop the self-confidence. So this believing in my own guru state will give me self-confidence in a situation, right? So anyway, anything you want to share to this combination of chakras, Nicholas, possibly, if you have something to.
Well, yeah, it was interesting you saying that. I think when it comes to the void, maybe the type of personality you are as well has an effect on how you do it, how you see yourself or how you affect others. And as Prasad was saying, affecting others in a positive way. But yeah, this idea of this faith, having faith in yourself in everyday life, to know that you are your own guru, and then sort of manifest that in your everyday life, maybe within your profession, within your family, within different ways. Yeah, I think if you're maybe if you're a more left-sided person, then it's about uh, building up that strength, understanding the power that you have within yourself. And maybe if you're a more right-sided person, it's about being able to control yourself and really fine-tuning your intuition and your sense of well, yeah, fine-tuning that side of yourself. So other than that, I don't think I have anything else to share.
It's true. If you're too much on your right void and everything's rigid, right? Everything's like you have a set day and you can't shift at all, then it's also not fluid. It's not balanced either.
Mm, mm,
I had a kind of experience when I was I was teaching in a school, and I realized, the teacher is kind of the disciplinarian in the classroom. The first thing before you get them to learn anything is, in a way, you have to set the boundaries. You have to set the discipline, because if they're not sitting still, they won't absorb anything. So, and I realized that I have to work on this in myself, and in the beginning I was very strict with myself. I had to get up at this time, and I realized, also my attitude and my nature was becoming quite hard. Um, it was coming quite hard, and and then slowly, after a while, I kind of let go, and I had this experience when I just felt naturally I was getting up in the morning. It was like the whole thing was completely natural. I was going with the flow. There was a sense of discipline, but it wasn't coming from me, from my outward, from, you have to do this. It was coming from a place much deeper, which was completely spontaneous. And I mean, I wasn't able to keep it up for a huge amount of time. I would say, it's life is like that. But I had this experience where I felt like at some point that the spirit was just looking after me, was being the guru, and I didn't have to do it. It was just getting me up in the morning, and I didn't have to make an effort. It was but in the beginning, like Mother says, you have to make an effort to not make an effort. You have to. It's a thing, all of
It's
it.
such a key point. Such a key point. You're touching there, because what we forget is, as long as we just believe in the rules from outside, we don't understand that these rules are meant for our benevolence. That's the key point, is it's your benevolence. So once you figure out this makes me feel better, this gets me into balance, then it's not an effort, it becomes effortless, because the rules just get you there. Just like a mother holds the child when it grows up by the hand, it's all guided, but eventually when it grows, she lets him go and he'll go, but he'll understand why she guided him this way. So we have to do that with
That's
ourselves.
completely it. Also in education, it's a lot of it is ticking boxes. They have to complete this, but until the desire is there from them, until they understand, it's
Yes.
yeah,
And that is there, that has to be there.
yeah,
That's just how it works.
yeah.
And the funny thing is, I noticed it because I'm also teaching, and sometimes you have to go in, and it was really funny. And sometimes you think, okay, they're not going to like me anymore after this when I'm really strict. But the funny thing is, they pick up the love because they know this comes from love. So they actually loved it. They came even more to me after that. Like if it comes from love, if it just comes from, like, you know, Nicholas said, from right side and just unconnected, then no. But they can feel the love behind, so children do understand it comes from love and concern. Anything you want to add, Nicholas?
The thought that came to mind. That's also, I guess, the same with relationships. You know, setting boundaries and you know, and you can apply the the self guru principle in so many different ways. And one thing is, you know, when you have a husband and a wife, or you're in a relationship, you need to set boundaries with yourself and be firm and be able to um, know what you need and what you are required to give, and have that balance. And so it's just another way that it manifests. I think we're always learning to work on ourselves, but you know, and in our relationships as well. Usually, it's a mirror. So that just thought came to mind.
It's true.
It applies in many different ways.
Yeah, top priority, really, not in an ego sort of way, but just, you know, to believe yourself in your guruship, and don't let anyone dominate. Like you said, the right void, right nabi can, if it's out of balance, dominate other people, trouble other people. So we need to find ourselves and get this strength and dignity, right? Prasad, have you had any experience where you felt that you being stable in yourself, you've meditated, you feel clear, you feel connected to your guruship, that had a different effect on people? Obviously, you already mentioned something in school, but just
Um,
generally people pick up on it.
I mean, it's very subtle, um, when you witness things, I guess the effect that you have on others. I struggle to think of a particular experience. I mean, there's always that story that we hear about the cocks and how they're trained, to fight in the arena, and they're taken into the arena and they don't do anything. They just watch the other cocks, and the other cocks get terrified because they think they're just watching us. They're not fighting. So that's one really powerful story we often hear in Sahaja Yoga through Shri Mataji. Um, I, I mean, yeah, I struggle to think of one specific experience, but I think that, when you're being dominated, I think there is a lot of power in kind of sitting inside yourself, not reacting also, just sitting inside your own strength and knowing that actually no one can step on your dignity. No one can, no matter what they say, no matter what they do, no one can tarnish that because it's untarnishable. And so, and that is a kind of something you had to hold on to dearly, um, because it's true. And in life, everything will try to. I mean, it's a competitive world out there, I guess. The art world's we're often just in our own studio, but sometimes you do get a sense, and uh, and I guess you get hurt when there's misidentifications. Someone's, even as an artist, someone doesn't like your painting. You feel hurt, but I think if yeah, I mean, for like my own advice is always to take a humble ground and just know that I am in a large sense just a beginner. There's so much to learn in the art, in any field you wish to really excel in. There's the cup of knowledge is always always yeah always there's always more. But yeah, I think that that's the real point, that no one can really step on your dignity, no one can hurt you, no one can touch you if you reside in your spirit.
That's actually the perfect final word for our little forum, I find. Just that's why we're here. That's why we do 21 days, is to always remind ourselves, just go inside, meditate, and keep your, even if one of us here in this group experiences that feeling dominated, put your hand on your void in that moment and just say to yourself just what we learned. Say, I am my own master. Nobody can take my dignity. It's such a nice affirmation. Just say that. Remind yourself of who you are. It's very, very powerful. And it works, absolutely. And people feel it and things change. So there's so many little techniques you can learn in Sahaja Yoga to make yourself stronger on all the chakras, and all the qualities will shine and people will feel it. People pick up on that 100%. So thank you so much for tonight. Well, for me, today's session. We will surely meet again. Keep painting, share your work. Yes,
I hope that
Prasad.
your music is recorded on the website, because I'll be visiting it if it is.
I was just making it up and I started on the wrong note, but no one will notice. That's okay. That's I always enjoy playing for you all, because actually on my side with the music, when I play for you and I can feel you all there, each and every one of you, it just feeds back and the inspiration comes and the vibrations come. So it's a process that is a give and take from all the sides, which you also know in your art, right? So thank you for joining for tonight. See you all soon. Keep meditating and join us next on Sunday. Have a lovely evening. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.